We are in times of great change. I mean, how many times have you heard that phrase? And it is a bit of a cliche because we hear it so often, but we are. And I wanted to talk today about what that actually looks like and means. So, our world is changing so fast. Technology is diversifying at an extraordinary rate. Our social structures are in constant flux. Economies are in turmoil. Politics are in turmoil. And our environment is experiencing mind-blowing levels of exploitation and degradation. And the state of our world is a reflection of the prevailing consciousness. But when consciousness begins to change, the outer realities also have to change. And that's where we are now. Many individuals have been feeling increasingly at odds with the way the world is, and they're actively seeking alternative ways to live and work. So some of the key themes that are high on their agenda, and it is far from an exhaustive list, include social injustice and exclusion, control of global decisions by an elite few, environmental degradation, the destruction of communities and environments in every part of the world, control of resources, and the twisting of policy to fit the interests of power holders. And that's a small handful. The list is long. How we live and work is a reflection of this state. What we value, how we treat each other, how we relate to the natural world are reflections of the prevailing consciousness. Our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being has been severely damaged at an individual and collective level, and many want change. Now, that change begins within. So many people are trying to redress the balance for themselves, and some are choosing to do that through the work they do as well, because they see a possibility for a different future. They see that they have the power to bring about change, not just for themselves, but for everyone. So business is becoming a vehicle of change, and we are at a crossroads. Both the old and new exist on this opposite ends of a seesaw, and right now the old has the balance of perceived power. Change is about critical mass, and it may feel like an unwinnable battle, but for every person who chooses to move to the other end of the seesaw, the balance shifts a little further. Culture changes bit by bit until we reach a tipping point. Now, for millennia, we have functioned on polarity, swinging from one extreme to another, and it's not an approach that serves us well. What we need to find is a little harmony. Now, business models and systems fit squarely in the old dynamic. They are designed to contain and control decision-making and perceptions, direct resources, and exploit them. Conscious entrepreneurs have been using these systems to create new pathways, but you cannot create the new with the old. The systems we have distort the intention, and the principles upon which those systems are based distort the energy. Now, when you butt heads with the problem for long enough, the need for change becomes overwhelming. It starts with shifting language, which we have been seeing for a few years now, but this goes nowhere near far enough because the old systems are still operating. New business thinking, systems and models are needed to make it possible for business to contribute to societal change. One area that stands out is psychology. It is so widely used to control how we think, live, and perceive the world. And mostly it exploits known patterns and weaknesses to create a desired outcome, which typically benefits the user of the psychology. It is systemic within marketing, which is used in politics, the media, and business to control how we think and act. Bottom line performance also stands out for its role in shaping culture, whether it is in the individual wallet or GDP. It is focused on leveraging human and natural resources to get the biggest possible profit. And how you get there is not an issue. Hence, we have massive environmental destruction. Slave labor is standard in some industries, child labor, animal labor, low wages, 0 hours contracts, reducing worker protections, disregard for unceded indigenous lands or the rights of their communities, and so much more. The focus of business on the bottom line does not support long-term health for people or planet. And that's why we find ourselves at a crossroads. All of this is visible. It's as visible as the piles of fast fashion in the Atacama Desert or piles of waste plastic in Asia. And as it becomes more visible, perception inevitably shifts. And once it reaches a critical mass, action follows. But that doesn't mean that action isn't possible now. Action now will actually drive perception shifts faster. Most entrepreneurs who are intuitive and cause-driven have been uncomfortable for quite some time. And it isn't always a case of being able to put words to the sense of discomfort, but it is there. The systems of business have disconnected them from their purpose, and they've been trying to fight their way back to their own path. And that's why my focus is on creating solutions and tools that work for intuitives, because without them, no progress is possible. We need experimentation. We need curiosity, which is what my business is naturally designed to do. So the core issues we face include shifting the core values of business so that they represent what we want to see in the world. Instead of creating a business that is financially successful so it has the resources to do good work, we need to be designing and operating businesses upon a holistic, rounded values base. Meeting and leading expectations is also important. It's businesses that go beyond current expectations who lead the shifts in consciousness and culture. So setting goals to operate sufficiently far outside the norms actually adjusts expectations of all businesses and requires others to follow suit. Going ahead of the curve in this way requires a strong mindset and self-belief. So honing your inner authority is going to give you the courage and resilience to follow your path out of the status quo. Now, there are challenges, and you can respond to those challenges in a number of ways. The first is to actually challenge the beliefs and approaches and systems that underpin your business. Critically assess if they are there because they're right to be there or because they have been imposed, maybe through conditioned thinking. And you can create alternatives by experimenting. Not everything's going to work, but you will learn from everything that you do. That's the nature of innovation, especially when it's done on the shifting sands of change. And getting clear on how you want to treat your customers, your clients, your staff, your partners, your stakeholders, your supply chain providers. Have very clear and robust standards that are designed into every part of your business. Define your values and how you're going to uphold them across your entire business spectrum of activities, including how you will actively engage others in living them. Define how you want to protect and actively support the natural world through your business. Your business is an expression of nature. It has an essential role to play in nourishing life, which goes far beyond simple concepts of sustainability. Get really clear on what success means to you on a personal level, a performance level, and an impact level. Create stories that emerge from the soul of your business to engage everyone in your vision of change. Create things that shift the baseline of experience and expectation. Move the goalposts for everyone through your vision. Go above and beyond what others might expect in ways that shift perspective and reset standards. And very importantly, know what you need to support yourself, to challenge, create, lead, change. You will need support. That could be inside of your business, it could be outside of your business, but it's about being very self-aware and knowing what you need. And critically assess your business to see where it is tied to the old and how. Do a root and branch review, which will include your own mindset and beliefs, some of which you will be blind to, and some you will need someone to reflect those back to you. Your business needs to be engaged with the consciousness shift on a proactive level. Businesses that resist this are going to ultimately fail. And the work to rebuild will still have to be done. But developing the skills and tools to respond to and lead the changes is going to position your business to thrive. Now is an amazing opportunity to lead that change and become a beacon of change. And embracing this is going to draw people to you in ways that you won't even expect. And the nature of the relationship that follows is going to be completely different. I believe that businesses which are a true reflection of soul purpose actively contribute to global well-being. Conscious choices to uphold values and challenge others to shift into new behaviors can restore how we function as communities and the respect we have for each other. And I believe that businesses have a natural patterning, which means that they can be an active participant in ecosystems, which will directly challenge the models of exploitation, both through beliefs and action. Now, I know that my role and the work of my business is to create alternatives so that entrepreneurs have the information and the tools to challenge and lead. And this means my business has to be curious, experimental, and prepared to fail. What about your business? What is the role of your business in change? Every business connected to its natural patterning has a role in change. When you know yours, your path into the new consciousness and the business dynamic will become clear. And right now, we can all embrace being in between realities while we explore the threads that can guide us forward.